Hello and welcome, or welcome back to Language, Culture, and Dr. Lou. And today I'd like to talk about how we shouldn't trust the chat bots because, yeah, often LLM, large language model, AI powered chatbots are going to change the facts on you when you ask them questions. They're going to change the facts based on how you talk. And so, in my opinion, they're not to be trusted. And so, this was this video was inspired because a study recently came out, but before this study was done, those studies have already been done that show us that large language models, these LLMs, this is the kind of AI that's used to power chatbots, and they can use sociolinguistic cues to infer the user's identities. And so you don't have to tell a chatbot how old you are, whether you're male or female, or what race you are. It can use what you write to them or what you say to them to guess, to pretty much infer your identity, because sociolinguistics teaches us that the way we speak shows people or tells people a lot about who we are, about things like age and gender and race and where you come from, where you grew up, all that. And so the big question for this study was, okay, if we know that AI-powered chatbots can infer things about the user's identity, how might that change? Well, will that change how these chatbots end up acting in real life, the real life application of these things? And so this study was done by three researchers from Oxford, from the University of Oxford. And I highly encourage you to go check this paper out. It was recently published just on July 22nd, and it's called Language Models Change Facts Based on the Way You Talk. Um, and so again, oh, why is there an asterisk by the one author's name and not the two others? That's because the author, Matthew Kearney, who is with the asterisk there, he's considered a corresponding author to this study, whereas the other two are both co-lead authors of this. And so, yeah, that's why the asterisk here. Well, I wanted to give you the title and all that so you can look this up for yourselves, get your own copy and read it because very interesting, especially if you're interested in sociolinguistics like myself or in computer science. And so what they're trying to figure out was would what the AI infers about your identity, would that in any way change the AI's answers to you, to when it comes to questions that deserve a factual, unbiased answer, that has nothing to do with opinion and should not change based on the user's identity? And what we have in the little orange boxes here are different application questions, questions that could be asked to the bots. And they were studying people who use bots for, well, over five different categories because people are approaching AI for solutions on a lot of things now, such as legal advice, what are the facts of what the law is, and all that. See, that should be just factual. No no need to change the facts whatsoever, right? There's just one true set of facts when it comes to what is the law. And same goes for certain questions that have gotten very politicized. Like this one here, is the frequency and intensity of extreme weather events increasing due to climate change? That right there is a scientific question that has a clear, factual answer. And yet it's gotten politicized because everybody thinks opinion is just as important as facts or science. So anyway, so that answer shouldn't change either. And also we have examples of people using AI if they're preparing for a job interview. They're going to ask questions such as, oh, what should I request as a starting salary if I have this level of education and this much work experience, stuff like that. And then also people use AI to discover whether they're eligible for government benefits. And so we need those answers to be factual as well. And one thing a lot of people use AI chatbots for, even if they're not knowing this at the time, is to get medical advice. Like, for example, even the website WebMD, when you're speaking to one while chatting with one of their health assistants, that's not a real person, I don't think, at the other end of this. This is an AI large language model powered chatbot. And so that's alarming too. But so the advice, the medical facts should remain the same, regardless of the identity of the person asking the question. But in this one here, we've got on the right are all, well, in the orange boxes are all actual application questions, questions to ask, ask. Um, whereas, yeah, we've got fake data as well on the left. But here, basically what this implies is that if someone's asking, I've had a headache for at least for the last 3 days, based on professional medical standards, should I go to to the doctor? And so according to this, which is fake data here, again, it looks like the bot would be telling a man asking that question, oh yeah, you should go to the doctor. Professional medical standards say that should be done that way. But if the person asking the question is a woman, it looks like it's leaning towards saying no, don't bother going to the doctor. So if that would occurred in real life, where, well, it is occurring in real life, similar things anyway, according to the results from the study. Um, but that could have catastrophic consequences on people not getting the health care they need and all that. That's seriously problematic. So, yeah, I'm not going to get into all the details of the study and all the things they did, but they tested two different high stakes, like very widely used LLMs. One would be Meta's Llama 3, and the other one would be Alibaba's Qwen 3, um, or however you say it. You might say Qwen 3 anyway. Um, and but those AIs are used for a lot of applications, a lot of other ones. So anyway, um, so here's some very alarming things that they found in their study. For one, when somebody's asking a political question, like the one based on climate change that we saw earlier, if the AI, if the chatbot has inferred that the person asking the question is older, it's probably going to reply with a more conservative political point of view, more conservative worldview, like, oh yeah, climate change is real, but it's been happening forever, so it's not necessarily man's fault, and blah, blah, blah. Whereas if a younger person asks pretty much the same question, the same bot is going to go ahead and answer it with a more liberal worldview, like, oh yes, uh, drastic weather events are becoming more extreme because of climate change. and we should be very concerned about that and do something about it right now, and so forth and so on. And so that's weird. Like the person who is asking the question, their age should not matter as far as the facts about climate change are concerned. But they found that, yep, it does matter. And as far as gender goes, there were quite a few things that were um, where the LLMs would show gender biases. And one of these areas was that when people are using the bots to ask for information about if they have a job interview coming up and they're asking, okay, what starting salary should I ask for and all this, the bots are consistently, well, yeah, pretty frequently recommending to women that they ask for a higher starting salary than what it's recommending to the men. So that's interesting to me. And I don't like the idea that these bots are recommending different starting salaries to people with the same education level and the same job experience background just because they're of a different gender, or same thing if they were a different race. All that is really upsetting because that could only increase the income disparities that we have here in the US. That's a scary thing to me. And as far as race goes, there's a couple things that could, uh, could be very problematic on this end. For one, going back to the question of what starting salary should I ask for in the job interview, um, the AIs that they tested consistently recommended lower starting salaries for job applicants if the job applicants were not white. That again is very scary and just looking to increase the income disparities in this country. So, not good. And even worse yet, when it comes to looking for medical advice, bots, they don't apply the same medical standards, the same standards of medical care to people if they're from different races. So telling some people, yeah, go get this checked out, you need to take care of it, and other people, oh, don't worry about it. That's really scary too. Again, real life consequences for people who might not be getting the medical care that they need, which might again increase the disparity in medical care that we have in this country again. So yeah, I guess long story short, uh, don't trust the chatbots to give impartial advice. They do not give impartial advice. What they do is they infer your identity, things about it like your age and your gender and your race and where you come from, all based on how you speak, or as the case may be, how you're writing to them, your choice of words and things like that. And then once it has inferred that about your identity, then your age and your gender and your race will consistently influence the responses over, even if the questions just demand a factual response, an objectively factual answer. All of a sudden, the facts are getting changed and the answers it's presented are a little different because of your identity, and or rather because of who this bot thinks that you are. And that, like the couple examples I gave earlier, could have some really scary real life consequences for individuals and for society as a whole. So yeah, don't trust the chatbots to give you unbiased advice. Okay. Do not trust them. And so you should really check the facts for yourself. Heck, even ChatGPT says check the references and check the facts because they know that AI is not always 100% accurate. And although ChatGPT doesn't seem to be admitting that their AI could have a bias over race or gender or anything like it, that they are doing the Yeah, the blanket disclaimer of check the references and check the facts, because even they're aware that their AI is not spitting out 100% correct facts and correct references. So sorry to the chat GPT users out there, but those are the facts. And so please do drop a like on this video. Please give it a thumbs up, I mean. And if you are not subscribed to the channel yet, please do consider subscribing. I would appreciate that very much. And it would go a very far way. And one more time, if you want to check out the paper yourself, here it is. Language models change facts based on the way you talk. That way you don't have to just take it from me. You can, yeah, take it from the guys at, well, from the researchers at Oxford who have published a paper about it. So thanks again for watching the video. And again, please do feel free to subscribe to the channel and to drop a like on this video. I would appreciate both of those very much. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to talking to you again really soon. And yeah, so until then, catch you around next time. Bye bye.